about it as far as a return on an investment, most people think about the immediate gratification I'm getting out of it. Now let's look at, and I'm not a person about money when it comes down to the church, but you realize how much money people will spend on fun.
Spend a lot of money on fun.
Especially because it's $10, $12, $20, whatever, like it's nothing. But when it comes down to the work of the Lord, because we don't understand what the work of the Lord is, and I understand why most people don't understand what the work of the Lord is, because they ain't seen the work of the Lord yet.
Right.
You hear me? They've seen preachers pimping and playing, so that discourages people from really investing in the work of the Lord. Okay. But if they saw the work of the Lord, like in the book of Acts, the work of the Lord, the Bible says it had all things in common.
Right.
Because what were they actually seeing? Souls being saved, people being delivered, people being set free. Who would invest in that?
That's right.
The problem is we're playing church, and so the preachers are playing games to collect money because they can't really produce, as Paul said, the demonstration of the power. So we come up with gimmicks to rake the money in and build large buildings and get on the TV or get on the internet or whatever.
So what you're saying is that's more important than cultivating a soul to make good decisions.
Well, I don't think that's even in the mindset about cultivating a soul to make good decisions.
Isn't that the whole purpose of it?
It should be. It should be the whole purpose of ministry, because ministry really means help. If I'm not helping you, I'm not ministering to you. Now, you said like you could take a course.
Right.
Like a lot of people do this. They find out they can get grants and they go to school because they don't have to pay for it. But if they're not going to use that information or that degree that they receive, it was a waste of time. So time, another thing, time is an investment. So, and I got this thing that I wrote and I preached on it one time also. Said if you don't do something with time, then time will do something with you.
Right.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it. If you don't use the time that God give you, time will do something with you. It'll put you in prison. It'll have you having 2 or 3 babies out of wedlock, 2 or 3 marriages.
Yeah.
It'll have you on drugs. You contract HIV and AIDS because that's how you invest your time. But if you started investing your time in something constructive, like addressing a problem,
right?
And of course, we're not going to solve the problem overnight, but at least we're investing in it. So at some rate, we're going to get a return.
Okay.
Because you don't get immediate return. It takes time to get a return on the investment.
So let me ask you this. So basically, going back to the family unit, if the mothers are out of the home, they're not getting any type of return back as a result of not investing in the home. Would that be a correct assessment?
Well, let's look at the home similar to a business.
Okay.
And if you own a business, and if you're not there to attend to the management of that business,
then it's out of control.
I mean, you've been an employee, right? At a business, and when the chief, the owner is not there, people goofing off.
Right.
They call in and ask somebody to clock them in, knowing they're not going to be there. Or, I'm leaving, but clock me out when you leave. They steal off their job. They cut up. They do all kinds of things because nobody's managing.
So there's no oversight.
There's no supervision.
So the home is out of control.
No supervision.
But okay, so in that scenario, okay, so the woman is out of the home, but where is the man at?
Well, sometimes the man, you only met him or been with him one time, and that was just enough to conceive. And in many cases, the women don't even know who the father of the child is.
Wow.
And that doesn't bother the women today. You know.
So do you see, I mean, okay, so if the mother's out of the home, the father's not there, he's absent. So if you have a young girl in the home, so do you see that leading to prostitution in other areas?
Definitely, because society, it promotes the body.
Mm-hmm.
How physically attracted you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, because we've always known that women like attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then the other thing is, and especially in an economic society where we're having a crisis,
Mm-hmm.
uh, everybody needs some money.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we talk about an investment, a woman uses her body as an investment.
So that's pretty. That's a lot. So a woman is using her body as an investment,
Mm-hmm.
and she's actually derating herself. She, what you're saying is she doesn't value her self worth
Well,
as a result of that.
she didn't understand her value.
Okay, but how does she understand her value?
You have to be taught. You have to be weighed on a scale.
So, but when mom is out of the home and daddy's not there, how does a young girl value herself? Can she put a value on herself, or it seems that she has no clue as to who she is and what her self worth is?
She has no clue, because in order for us to understand the value of, let's say, a diamond, usually take it to who?
You got to take it to a jeweler, and he have to put it under the glass. They call it like the glass eye, and look at it and verify it and give you an idea the value of it.
Tell you what it's worth. And the same thing like with a car accident. You have a car accident, they send the insurance
Estimator. That's
an
right.
estimator out. Someone who specializes in determining how much damage is another word, damage. See, because once the damage is done to the vehicle, it loses its value.
That's right.
Unless the damage has been repaired. So a woman who uses her body, not understanding what damage that she's doing to it, because once you lose your virginity, you never get back 100% value.
Wow. That's an awesome assessment there. Wow.
Now, if you bought a car off the lot,
hey, come on, shot, Jesus,
and you knew that it had been in an accident, and it had a sticker price up there, $25,000. Maybe it was a Lexus, fully loaded, top of the line. But then there's another Lexus, different color. One exact same, exact same thing, offering the exact same thing. The only difference is one of these cars have been in an accident previously. Which one has more value to you?
The one that hasn't been an accident.
No damage.
No damage
no
done.
Previous damage.
Yeah, you pull the report, nothing's done.
So the same way we scope out or decide on material things based on the understanding, right? We have an understanding of what's more valuable to us because we understand that one car has been in an accident, has had a pre-existing damage, even though it's been repaired. They don't fix everything. It might have a little out, it cause the tires to be out of line or something like that. You're not going to detect everything. Likewise, when a woman give her body to a man who's not her husband, she's already degraded herself, and her value has decreased because a man who knows that she's not a virgin, a man that wants a virgin, that wants a woman who has not been with anyone, and he meets these two nice women. They both are nice, both are beautiful, both are very intelligent, but one has already been with someone and one has not. That's the only difference. Most likely, the man is going to want the woman who has not been with anyone.
So what you're saying that in the scenario with the car and with a woman, that a man, if he had a choice between getting a new car with no damage, he would choose that over a car that's been damaged.
Correct.
And so if a man has a choice between a woman that has lost her virginity and has not lost her virginity, you're saying that the man would more than likely choose the virgin.
More than likely, and going back to what we said earlier about the business-minded person, it's because a father, a mother with children, you're trying to leave a legacy. So if you're selling cars, you use them like for example to uh, uh, your children. You're not selling them, but you want to uh, promote your product as being valuable based on what you put into it. If you put new tires on it, you oil change and all those kind of things. Those kind of things you can sell to the customer. Uh, a business-minded person, especially with used car, they clean them up and even put a little warranty on to make it advertisable. Right. So likewise with a parent, you invest the most you can in your children. So when they go out to represent you,
good word.
You understand? They have a price tag as far as what they're worth based on what has been invested in them.
But let me ask you a question, though, Pastor Bart. Now, that sounds good, but here's a situation. I'm a person that's in a situation where I've been damaged, and I want to make better, but give me a solution. What is a good solution to that? How do I take a damaged product and make it into a good product? Okay, here I am. If I'm a woman, I done lost my virginity. Is all hope gone for me? Do I still have opportunity to be a virtuous woman, or is that impossible? Because I need to know where is my hope meter at? Where should I be now?
Well, I guess I'll speak from, when we talk about the women, the average woman probably would say, well, you talking about a woman, you're not a woman, so how can you, talk about what I'm worth?
Right.
But I can't really talk about what a woman is worth based on experience.
But you know what a man looks for.
But I knew if I was going to buy a car, I have to be a car.
Right. Right.
Right. I have to be a car
to
determine what it's worth to me. Likewise, when I think about what a woman is worth or getting her worth or value back, I think that's what you asked me, what can she do? Well, you never can get back to 100% if you lost your virginity. But it's always a point where you can, as long as you're living and breathing and in your right mind, you can start all over again. And you started changing, the environment that you're in, the people that you associate with, because the old saying that we're known by the company that we keep.
Wow.
Okay. And so some things we have to literally do in order for us to bring about a different perspective about ourselves. And some women say, I don't care. Men may say it too, but I don't care what people say about me or think about me. But in reality, a business-minded person, if you're trying to promote a product, you do care what people think about your product.
Right, absolutely.
That's what
absolutely.
That's what will cause your clientele or your customers to grow, because it's how you present the product.
Okay.
So a woman who says, I don't care what people think about me, well then, if you present yourself like that, then that's basically all that you can attract to you. Someone who doesn't care about you because you don't care about what they think about you.
But let me ask you this. Now, you strike a good point there. It kind of allows me to transition into something else I was looking at here. So, if a woman or a young girl says that she doesn't care about what people think, is that something that her father should have taught her in the home to value herself? Because then we move to the thought or the idea of children that don't have fathers in the home. So what you're saying is that you're dealing with a fatherless child that is suffering as a result of the father not being in the home. Would that be correct to say that?
Part of the father's responsibility or the father's neglect.
But what in your from your research and what has caused the father to be removed from the home?
Well, that's a question that has many different answers. sometimes it's a fight between the husband and the wife. Many cases they never were married, so that would be a reason why the man is no longer there. Some men never even knew that they had a child.
Now, Pastor Brock, you've been around a while though, but let me ask you this: if a man makes a baby, isn't it just outright common sense that he ought to be responsible? He ought to have some type of responsibility to taking care of that child.
If he's aware, if he's aware that he has a child, and then with that information, he should step up and do the things that he would want done for him.
Hmm.
That
You say that he should want done for himself.
Should want, because a lot of men say, well, I do what I can, and then they don't put forth any effort to do more than what they can. You understand? Because it's a lame excuse to say I do what I can. You need to do what's necessary in order for the child to benefit from the parent, and that's speaking of the father.
Okay.
If you want to do what you can, then the child will be raised with that understanding. My father only did what he could, or maybe he could have done more if he wanted to. You understand? So sometimes it requires a fight on the father's part if he's being barred from spending time with his child because there's a dispute going on between him and the mother. Then if it means going to court, you got to do that. You got to do what you got to do.
But you strike a point there. So what you saying, Pastor Brock, is that these men out here, to me, what I see when they ought to be fighting, they don't fight. It's just the reverse. It's like they don't have the stamina, endurance, or the gall to fight for those things that are right. So it seems like men are giving up their spines.
Right.
They are spineless, and they should have given up a rib to that wife, but they're losing a spine, which is more essential to stabilizing a man's posture, whether it be in the home, on the job, in the church. And as a result of losing that, the whole family unit goes lacking, which is like a domino effect. His leadership is bad in the home, and then the wife is not being led. She becomes independent and feel I can do this myself because I don't have a man with a spine. So it all it's like a vicious cycle.
Well, I think a lot of what we have to look at, Minister Wilson, is that we learn from the environment that we were raised in. Sometimes men that have been raised by their mothers who are very emotional people. Men can learn from that and end up being very emotional in handling situations. And then if there's a father not there to show a man how to deal with situations other than emotionally, just deal with it, then he doesn't have that to draw from. Or if he does have a father who's there, who's passive or very aggressive, he learns from those behaviors as well.
So what you're saying is, if a young man has picked up a passive spirit or a mindset from his father, it's like it has the ability to really damage him for life.
Well, he really can identify with the word spine. Really that term is more familiar with an older generation than the generation that we're in right now. But we know, when we say a man word is his bond, those were cliches, if you would say, that we used, years ago. Because we ought to expect a person to do what they say today. We ought to, but in reality, you can't really bank on people doing what they say today, because people are not the same quality or character of people that they were years ago.
So what you saying? A man's word is not his bond anymore. It's not understood like it used to be.
It's not dependable.
Wow.
It's not dependable.
Wow.
And that goes back to what we're talking about, what a man should do. Well, if a man learns from his father to be a liar, right, or to be deceptive, then most likely that's what he's going to do.
Okay.
You know, he's going to do what he's seen displayed before him. And then when you try to give him another set of guidelines to go back, he's like, hey, what I need that for?
Right.
You know, I can make my money, you know, on the street.
Mm-hmm.
I can get a woman anytime. And these things are true.
Right.
But when you think about the child that he's created, is this what he wants to pass down? Is this what you want to pass down to your child, to be a pimp?
Wow.
To use women, to take advantage? Is that what you want to create?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have a daughter, is this what you're going to teach your daughter to be used by men?
Right. Wow.
You know?
Wow. This is certainly something that we definitely going to have to really, really pray about and ask God to lead us and guide us in this. And what we'll do, we'll do some more research and get with some folks and come back together and see what we can do to come up with some solutions on how we could help counter this problem that we have.
Praise God.
All right?
Amen.
Amen.